Hi, this is Mike Wade, and welcome to this week's video featuring yours truly, Mike Wade and Tom's Tools. The disclaimer is stock and options trading has large potential rewards, but also large potential risk. And you must be aware of these risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the stock and options market. Don't trade money you can't afford to lose. You also know that I am not an advisor. Please don't take anything I'm about to share with you as advice. All prices are in US dollars unless noted otherwise, and please feel free to pause the recording and read the balance of the disclaimer. All right, so in this video, I'm going to share with you the formula for trading success and what I believe is the most beneficial aspect of Tom's Tools, the ability to actually test your systems, verify they work before you trade real money. All right, so the system is this. First off, find systems that have discrete entries and exits, objective, yes and no entries and exits, no room for gut feel. Test those systems historically using back-tested data and then pass the results over to a system that will grade your results and give you a report card, and then wash, rinse, and repeat until you achieve the desired results. Now, what are desired results? What's a good report card? Well, here's what I'd say a good report card is, and one is that your average winning trade percentage be 60% or higher. So at least 60% winning trades. You might get higher, but don't take any lower than that. And then your average profit be twice the size of your average loss. Do the math. If both those things are present, then your system is cooking with gas. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Tom's Trading Tools, the Performance Reporter. And in this, we're going to be taking a look at backtesting. So what is it and what can you do with it? I want to show you how to create a folder, create them, and then place your trades in those folders, your backtested trades in those folders, closing the trades out. And then step 3 is running the performance report to get your report card. Now, in order to demonstrate this, you could use any trading system whatsoever. To make it simple, what I'm going to do is demonstrate the 1030 crossover system. I actually have a video on the system. Feel free to go back and watch it. But essentially, in the 1030 crossover system, we place a 10-day moving average and a 30-day moving average. And when they cross, when the shorter-term average, which is the magenta line, crosses above the longer-term average, which is the light blue line, that signals a bullish entry. All right. And then when the inverse happens like it does up here, that's considered a bearish cross. And you exit your bullish trade and then flip the battery around and then get into a bearish trade. So had I gotten in here and out here on a bullish trade, I would have been very happy, of course. I made some money. And then I would flip it around, close off the bullish trade, and then immediately get into a bearish trade. So let's go through the process. It's actually very simple. I think you're going to be very excited when you see how this works. So this is, first off, the backtesting engine. Up here on the top right of any page in Tom's Tools, you have the ability to set the counter back in time. And notice here I could go back to 2015 even, in different months. And I can actually place trades as though, in backtest, as though I were actually placing the trades on that particular day. So in this case, what I've done is set the backtest date to 10/18/2018. And notice on Apache, APA is the stock symbol, on 10/18, we ended up with a bearish cross. So that would signify a bearish trade. Now, what do I do with that? Well, first off, what I could do is go right into the option tables, go into option chains, and pull up an option chain for Apache. So I type in the symbol APA there, and then I want to use, something like 86. Oh, let me set the backtest date. I don't have that set. Forgot to do that on this screen. I'm going to set the backtest date to, what's the date again? The date is 10/18/2018, so I can just type in the backtest date. I don't have to use the calendar. And then now I am magically on that particular date. I wish I could do this with my life itself. That would be really cool, huh? So we've got Apache. I want to select the 92-day options, give myself at least 90 days of time to be right. Remember, I'm going to be buying a put option. Click update, and then we go down to the option chain here, and notice that we have our puts on the right. And my rules are go out of the money by a strike or so, and I'm just going to go ahead and buy. Let's see, they're going for $2. If I did 10 of them, let's just do 5 of them. and then hit risk graph. What that's going to do is give me 5 long puts on Apache, and I'm going to be spending roughly $1,000 on this trade. If I wanted to spend less, I would do less contracts. I can spend as little as $204. And then I have my risk graph. This is a put risk graph. And again, what I'm counting on is this bearish cross to have the stock, have that signal a potential bearish move in the stock. Now let's take a look at what happened. I've got the actual inverse cross. So this inverse cross happened on 1/16/2019. Our entry was here. Our exit is here on 1/16. So now within the trade, what I do is I go to 1/16/2019, and that's going to show me what my actual put would be worth on that particular day. And notice that this was a huge home run. All right, and we only have a couple days left in the option, but the thing worked out great. We ended up with a great deal of profit on this trade. It happened to be a winning trade. Not all your trades will be winning trades, but this was certainly one. All right, now the next step before I show you how to close this off is we need to create a folder. I mentioned that in my intro, so we're going to go into website, folders, and I'm going to create a folder. Now folders are necessary because they allow me to capture the trades of a particular backtest and allow me to run my performance report, as you'll see in a few minutes. So I'm going to call this folder sample folder, and then I'm going to hit my save button. And now when I go back to my trade, what I want to do is save that trade in the folder called sample folder, and I do that really simply. All I do is hit the save button, and that'll save the trade in the folder. And then because it's time to exit on 1/16, the last thing I need to do, and this is really critical, everybody hear this, you need to close your trade out, hit the close button, in order to get the proper report card results with the performance reporter. So I bought 5 Jan 1840 puts, and then I bought those on 10/18 notice. All that was done in backtest, and now what I want to do is sell them on 1/16. The close button gives me an automatic purple area down here. I just put in 5, sell 5 of the same puts I bought, and I like to go ahead and rename the trade and put CL on the end so I know it's closed, and then I click update, and now I have a trade in that particular folder. All right, so the idea is you do this a number of times. I would say 100 times. Pick a particular system. This is the 1030. Do 100 1030 crossovers. Pop all the results. Close all the trades. Pop them in a folder. You name your folder, whatever you want to name it. And then once that's done, get your report card. How do you do that? Well, you go to Trades, Portfolio, and Performance. Now, when you run your performance test, make sure you set the backtest date to the latest date, which I just did. And on the date of this recording, it's 2/20/2019. And then I want to go ahead and select for trades in this folder and select sample folder. All right, now I have 2 in here. I've got a prior trade I did, and I've got sample folder here. So all I have to do, and don't worry about the date range. This is only if you want to mess around with date range, but I want all of them. So just forget about that. Again, just select sample folder. Don't check that box. Sample folder, click calculate, and then the report card is generated for you. Notice I've got the profit for each of the trades. And in this particular case, with only 2 trades, not a meaningful sample, don't get too excited. I've got a profit of $4,442. I've got 100% winners. I've got my largest gain at $34.70. That was the put I just bought, and my average gain is $2,221, and I haven't lost any, so I don't see an average loss here. So I'm going to run a report that I do a lot of straddles, and I want to show you a report that I just did. This is live. These trades were done in January, so I'm selecting a folder that I did myself. These are several trades. These are all straddles. Doesn't matter what the actual strategy is. And I'll click calculate, and you're going to see a portfolio with some winning and losing trades, and that's going to be real world. You just won't have 100% winners. And notice here that this particular month, this was 1 month, we made $5,800 or so. 64% of the trades were winners, and the average gain was 729 to the average loss of 138. What's that, about 6 times or so? So the average gains were 6 times the size of the average losses. That works. It's well above 2 to 1, and my winning percentage is at 64%. So this is a system. This tells me this system works. I want to have a year's worth, at least a year's worth of data, and I'm really happy. So the idea is that do this before you actually risk real money and get results with a meaningful number of trades. Let's say 100. Run your report, and when you get 60% or higher here with percentage of trades with a gain, and your average gain is twice the size of the average loss, then you have a system that should perform well, provided history of course repeats itself. Now there's also some interesting stats in here you can look at, and of course click the help button here in order to get more help. I don't want to go into great detail. You can do that yourself, but I've really highlighted the main aspects of the performance tool. So that's it. Now, once again, create a folder, and the way you do that is go to website, folders, and create folders. You click create folders, give it a name it whatever you like, click the save button, do all your back testing. I would, again, advise 100 trades at least for each system, each discrete system that you've defined. Then when you've done that, run your performance report. You go to trades, portfolio, click performance, and then run the performance against for trades in this folder. Select the same folder, click calculate, and you are off to the races. All right, that was a lot of information in this particular video. I hope it was useful, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next week.